What's up everybody, Rob here. So this is just a real quick video, something about current events and modern politics. If you don't like that particular type of video, I'm sorry, but I just figured I'd have to, share this with all of you guys. It's past midnight, I really should be sleeping, but instead I'm here talking to you. So, yeah, keep that in mind. By the way, this is also just going to be a stream of consciousness thing that I have here. I have some idea of what I'm going to say, but I'm just sort of just going and, yeah, make of that whatever you will. Any case, on social media, particularly on Twitter, there was controversy recently about the concept of flag burning and whether or not this should be allowed, it should be acceptable, if it's constitutional or not, and I figured I'd give my 2 cents in on this. For those who are unaware, I am a fairly right-wing leaning person. Most of my videos I don't talk about it because it's not relevant, but in this particular case that is, so full disclosure, I am a right-winger. I do not hesitate to refer to myself in that particular regard. It's just what I am. In any case, as such, at least as it pertains to this particular issue, I have to call out my fellow conservatives on this. Not all of them. A lot of them do agree with me on this, but some of them I have to, where it's due, I have to call them out for things that I disagree with. And particularly, I'm talking about the idea of flag burning and whether or not it should be legal or if it's protected under the First Amendment. And I'm of the opinion that it most certainly is. Now, obviously, I am a fan of the American flag and everything it represents. I mean, you got this here. This actually flew over the Capitol building, so I'm very proud of that. I'm a pretty hardcore patriot. I believe I am pro-military. I am pro-Second Amendment. I'm pro all the Constitution. I mean, the greatest holiday in the world is the 4th of July. Everything else is secondary to that. That's not a joke for me. The only holiday I really care about is the 4th of July. Dead serious. So when I say that you should be allowed to burn the American flag as a form of protest, I absolutely believe it. I do not like that someone does that, but that person has the absolute 100% right to do so. Now, of course, we're talking about them being their own flag. They didn't steal the flag from someone. And, of course, it's legal to burn something because, you can't just go randomly burning random things in random places. That's, a fire hazard, obviously, for that. But there's just the concept of burning an American flag as a form of protest. Should it be allowed? Yes, absolutely. As much as I love the flag and I love this country and everything that the flag represents within this country, the Constitution and everything else, also with those freedoms come, the freedom to be an asshole, basically. But in addition to all this, I'm also a free speech absolutist. I believe 100% in the right of free speech or freedom of expression as long as it doesn't, there's no specific call to violence, like, go over there and get that person, kill that specific person there. If there's a specific call to violence, no, can't incite a riot, obviously. But just, speech in general, I'm 100% in favor of freedom of speech for everybody. It could be like the most vile, disgusting things like, white supremacists have an absolute 100% right to speak in a public space. Absolutely. Islamists who want to murder us all. Absolutely. Go right ahead. I want that out in the marketplace of ideas. I want, leftists, rightists. Rightist doesn't really sound good. Leftist makes, that sounds good, man, whatever. I want, communists, capitalists, fascists, Marxists, ANCAPs, ANCOMs, which I never really understood. I never really understood any of the the anarcho whatever. I never really understood their ideology, but they have every right to be out there. Feminists, MRAs, I want all of them to be out there speaking. So as such, just to maintain some degree of consistency within my own personal ideology, I can't justify banning one particular form of expression over another because I don't happen to like it. Now, I don't like the idea of burning a flag on a personal level, but I think someone should be allowed to absolutely do that. Just for the sake of nothing else, I don't want to be a hypocrite. And I really have to call out a lot of my fellow conservatives on this who are saying that it's disrespectful to the flag and all the people who died for to protect those freedoms. Yeah, it's kind of ironic that the people. Yeah, there is sort of an irony there that people are destroying a symbol that allowed them to do what it is they're doing. There's some degree of irony there. But that's the point of America. You have a right. It's a dick move, but you have a right to be a dick in America. There's no freedom if it comes without the freedom to be a dick. Just that simple. Honestly, a lot of cases when it comes down to this, they're sounding a lot of these people who are talking about banning freedom of speech, they're sounding a lot like SJWs. They're sounding a lot like the really, I don't mean like people on the left, like people who I happen to disagree with, like they want more government control and I want less government control and we can talk, or they're anti-gun and I'm pro-gun and we can, have a discussion about that. I'm talking like, the really super annoying progressive types, like everything is right, like Saint Anita of the Sarkeesian, everything is racist, everything is sexist, everything is bigoted, and you have to point it all out. Yeah, those people, like those insufferable people, you're sounding a lot like that. Oh, this thing offends me, therefore it must be banned. Like, God, do you guys not hear yourselves? I mean, you're sounding like the thing you hate. You're sounding like the SJWs. I mean, it's somewhat disturbing to me. So, yeah. So, yes, the flag itself stands for freedom, including the freedom to disrespect the flag. That's built in there. That's part of the system. I love it. I love that about the system. We can't have that sort of thing without a tyrannical government telling us what we can or cannot do. Some bureaucrat in Washington, some elected officials, they were elected. Like that makes them wise or powerful. No, I want the government. I don't care how they were put in power, whether it's like fiat or, a military junta. They could be elected by popular vote or electoral college or whatever. It doesn't matter. Could be trial by combat or hereditary, whatever it is. I don't like governments telling me what I can or cannot do, what I can or cannot say, I can or cannot, how I can or cannot express myself. I hate that idea, and that includes ideas that I also hate. Okay, so now that's pretty much the ideological issue behind this. I believe people shouldn't desecrate the flag. They shouldn't burn it as a form of protest, but they have every right to. I may not agree with it, but it's not my place to tell people what they can or cannot do with their own property. Pretty simple, and I don't want an all-powerful government telling us how we can or cannot express ourselves or protest. There you go. But I'm also going to bring this is somewhat more of a practical thing rather than an ideological thing. I actually think people who burn the flags should burn the flags, and I'm actually happy that they do. Now let me explain. Give me a second here. Most people who burn the flag are doing so to protest the United States. They are anti-U.S. They are trying to, so we're talking like militant communists, militant, really usually pretty far extreme leftists, Marxists, that sort of thing. I don't like those guys. And I'm just going to say the vast majority of Americans do not like the idea of burning a flag. They may agree with the idea, like I just said, they should have the right to do so, but they don't like the idea of burning the flag. I think I speak for a big chunk of the American populace. So when we see these guys burning a flag, we know they're a bunch of assholes. So therefore, their ideology is going to look like, oh, this is an ideology for assholes. So then they kind of lose weight. Like their argument kind of loses weight when it's like, oh, yeah, that one side that I believe in free market capitalism and all that stuff. But these guys here were totally shouting slogans and burning a flag. So I guess I'm going to totally change my mind and follow what they say. I mean, do you see how stupid that is? So I think they should, show how utterly ridiculous and stupid their ideology is. Like, they have to protest in this utterly disrespectful way. It makes them look bad. So I'm actually cool with it. Like, yeah, please keep acting like idiots. Like when, Napoleon, my channel is mostly about history, so you're going to get a history lesson here. Napoleon famously said, when your enemy makes a mistake, don't correct them. So when people are burning flags, like give them the opportunity to be idiots. Give them the rope to hang themselves. And then it will only look good for your side. I'm just saying that's how it works. Just like then we can point. Look at these guys here. They hate America. They hate the country. They disrespect. Look at that. We give them all these freedoms, and that's how they treat it. Come on, look at that. I'm not going to ban them. But look at these people. You want to elect a guy that has that ideology? That really? Come on, people. That's just my take on this on a very practical level. Also, most of these flags that you're burning are actually made in China, so I don't really care one way or another. So in any case, that's pretty much it. Just a stream of consciousness thing. One of my shorter videos. I can't believe I actually kept it under 10 minutes, but whatever. In any case, please hit the like and subscribe button. Where's the subscribe button's over here? Whatever. Read it. It's subscribe button. More videos coming out whenever I get around to it. And have a glorious day. You're free to do that. Because of that right there, you have any kind of day you want. See you later.